Guys, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 3 different coins that have gained some popularity recently. We will be taking a look at Jasmy, as well as Nucypher, and also Fantom or FTM. So definitely stick around so you don't miss anything. Watch the video all the way through. Guys, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the community here. We just passed 6,000 subscribers, on our way to 7,000. Thank you guys so much. Hit that like button before we get started if you would. It really helps out a lot. And we'll jump right on into the video. Alright guys, so we're going to start with Jasmy. I do have an article, a couple of articles up here about Jasmy. We have this one that says everything to know about Jasmy, and then also what is the 2025 price prediction for Jasmy. This is actually, I read into this article. This is marketrealist.com. And actually, when you get down here, it's actually kind of bearish. So I might wait till the end to show this to you guys. But just keep in mind, you know, this is just mostly people's opinions, right? But it is actually kind of bearish what they talk about in this article. So we might look at that a little bit later. And then also we might take a look at this. But first, I do want to just jump on into the price action for Jasmy real quick, just to do a recap of what's been going on lately with it, with Jasmy coin. As you know, we did hit a couple of targets here. We hit this first target of about 9 cents. Then that put in this resistance level here. You can see that since then, we broke up out of this pattern. And then we have started to form another pattern here. After breaking through our 9-cent resistance, we actually came all the way up to above 12 cents. It looks like close to 13 cents. We came very close to 13 cents before seeing a nice pullback here, and currently testing that 9-cent, 10-cent resistance for support. You can see that we have dipped below it some, forming somewhat of another wedge pattern here. So we do have a possible measure move to take a look at for this on the 4-hour chart. I just want to drop it to the hourly real quick to get an idea of this as well. And you can see, let me take these indicators off here. You can see though, guys, that this pattern is starting to form pretty nicely here. You're forming a support down here. That support's down here around 8.5 cents. And then you also have some support up here around that 9-cent price level. But then you also are forming this downtrend line of resistance here pretty nicely. Many touches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches on this resistance line. So very, very good confirmation there for this resistance. Currently in the price action right now, as I'm making this video, you are coming up to test that resistance. So we could possibly see a breakout for Jasmy here soon, here in the short-term time frame. First, I do want to just go ahead and look at this real quick, guys, because a lot of people have asked me questions about Jasmy, and you know, there's little known about it yet, really. But most of you know that it is an Internet of Things token. It says right here that Jasmy, which is nothing but an organization that is known to develop the Internet of Things, or commonly referred to as IoT. Before moving on further, it is worth mentioning that Jasmy is the native utility token for the Jasmy platform and an Ethereum token that powers Jasmy. Jasmy is one such platform that focuses completely on decentralizing the process with help of storing and computing data on a decentralized storage network, or IPFS. Other than this, Jasmy that I mentioned earlier can very well be used for several purposes, one of which is to transfer tokens amongst payments as well as devices for services on the network itself. Jasmy claims that the platform abides by the concept of data democracy, meaning that its objective is to return all the personal data files in the hands of the rightful individuals it belongs to. Not just that, the basic foundation of the entire network is trust. It aims at building with its customers as well as companies that often use their platforms, building a new era of information. So it seems like Jasmy is much likely to position itself in the marketplace as one of the major solutions for the 4th Industrial Revolution, as and when it happens. Furthermore, in a report, officials on the platform say that with this big wave coming along, a lot of new goods and services, including sharing economics like automatic driving, dispatch services, as well as checkout-free convenience stores that are unmanned, are born. In addition to all of this, as mentioned previously, with the help of Jasmy, there is no need for service providers to hold on to the personal data of users, whereas the respective individuals can very well decide on their own how exactly they want to use it. Also, with the help of this, services providers tend to reduce the overall cost of information security, increase service levels, as well as make use of information that is stored by the users outside the company. And guys, just to note one point here from this article at Market Realist, As I told you guys, the outlook for this is actually kind of bearish. You can see here that they go by some other sources here. They go by price prediction. There's a link to that, priceprediction.net, walletinvestor.com, and digitalcoinprice.com. All three of these have their own different price predictions for Jasmy in 2025. And you can see that the first one, priceprediction.com, the upside for Jasmy from here until 2025 is just 30%. And the firm actually sees the token going down by almost 70% in 2021. So guys, leave me some comments in the comment section to let me know what you guys as Jasmy investors think about these price predictions, because walletinvestor.com also is bearish on Jasmy, saying that the token could see a decline by more than 90% in value by the end of 2025. And then digitalcoinprice.com is the one bullish prediction here, which implies an upside of 160% by 2025. And then I just wanted to point out this down here. The market might not be equally beneficial for all players operating in this niche, which is the Internet of Things niche. There are many players operating in this market, including IOTX and IOTA. IOTA has an early mover advantage in this space with a lot of established partnerships. Jasmy has yet to prove its worth in the space by doing concrete. Until it does that, other players have an edge over it. So I agree with this. Jasmy will have to gain some traction here to really see growth. But we're going to go ahead and jump back into the charts real quick, guys, and take a look at what's happening currently. Because here in the short term, we could absolutely still see a nice breakout to the upside here for Jasmy. As you can see, we are testing resistance currently. And we will be looking at Nucypher next and then Fantom towards the end of the video. So stick around and don't go anywhere. So guys, as I said, we are testing resistance now. We could likely see this get rejected here and fall back to the downside. We could hold support here around 9 to 10 cents. Trade out sideways a little bit and then break out, or we might have to come all the way back down and retest about 8.5 cents, which would be your support line down here. Either way, guys, this thing is looking like it's coiling up here in between support and resistance levels. So what could be next is a breakout to the upside. If we do go to the downside, I can give you guys my areas of support to pay attention to. But first, let's go ahead and put in this measured move to the upside, which would be the measurement of this pattern that we are currently in from the top to the bottom there of our pattern, and take into our potential breakout point, which it looks like we are trying to break out right here, give or take. If we were to break out right here immediately, this would put us up here around, for Jasmy coin, around 14.95 to 15 cents. So let's just go ahead and put a target in here of about 15 cents because that makes sense to me. And we'll put that in here right at 15. Right below 15, right there at 15 cents, guys. Now, keep in mind, obviously, if we were to fill out this pattern a little bit more and maybe take a little bit longer to break out, you know, that might bring us down all the way to about 14 cents even. So anywhere between 14 and 15 cents, in my opinion, is going to be a good target to be looking at for the upside. Now, next, we will take a look at the potential for the downside. But I do want to go ahead and put a box in here at about 14 to 15 cents, approximately 14 to 15 cents here. And that will be our target range there for Jasmy to the upside. Now, to the downside, guys, obviously, you know, you do have your support line here. Like I said, 8.5 cents. We're currently at 10 cents. So a couple cents difference there in a drop. That could be support right here at about 8.5 cents. And then, of course, you have your moving average coming up. That's going to be at about 0.077. And that would also line you up with some previous resistance from back here in the previous price action. And the next step down from that would be our 6 to 7 cent support, which are these two trend lines down here. So to the downside, guys, it would be the first step would be right here. Then you would have your moving average that might hold support. And then you would have your next step down, which would be 6 to 7 cents, which is your previous support and resistance levels from back here. You can see there was resistance, and then support all along the way on 6 to 7 cents. So to the downside, 6 to 7, if 8.5 does not hold. And to the upside, guys, 14 to 15 cents for Jasmy. Next, let's go ahead and jump right on into Nucypher. Won't waste any time here, guys. With Nucypher, you know, I was a little bit disappointed, which I did expect more downside from this. You know, I talked about this in our live stream we did on Nucypher. I did expect more downside on this, but unfortunately, I was expecting a little bit of a push up once we hit right about here. Let me throw it on the 4-hour chart. I was actually expecting more of a bounce at this area, at this level, but instead, you can see we actually just traded sideways, holding that support, then we broke that support and fell to the downside. I was actually, honestly, guys, expecting more of a bounce here to the upside, at least somewhat of a bounce, maybe to test this previous resistance, but we did not. We actually just traded sideways here. And what we've done along the way, by trading sideways, we've actually, for Nucypher, formed a nice descending, or falling wedge pattern. These do typically break to the upside, so we should be expecting a nice break to the upside here soon for Nucypher. Now, where I have this placed currently, guys, you can see that we're not making very good touches here, but I do believe this is okay because of the fact that we have this wick. So on the shorter term time frames, we would have touches here, and then we are lined up with these candle closes back here, and also with this resistance here where we broke our support and dropped to the downside. And for our support, we have these two touches here and these two touches here on the 4-hour chart. So I think that as far as this pattern goes, this is the best placement for these trend lines. Now, what we can do here, guys, you know what we can do is determine a possible measured move here for Nucypher. Let me get rid of that little squiggly line there. Looks like I've got another one right there. Let me get rid of those real quick. Okay, so guys, what we want to do is go ahead and formulate this measured move, because we do look like we're ready to break to the upside. I don't believe we will see more downside, but I will go ahead and point this out real quick before we look at the bullish target. If we do continue to consolidate here and break support, then the next step down, guys, is going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be right here at about 80 cents, guys. That would be your next step down. You're very close to that now, trading at 93 cents. And the step down from that's going to be around 65 cents, guys, down here at this yellow trend line. That's going to catch some support off of your EMA coming up here. And also that is some previous support if we go back and look at the shorter term time frames, or previous resistance. So about 65 cents, guys, and 80 cents. Those are my downside targets. Now let's go ahead and put in the bullish target for Nucypher here and get this price prediction for Nucypher put in here. So we'll go ahead and do this. This will be the measurement of your pattern, the width of your pattern here from the top to the bottom. You know the drill, guys. We will drag this over here to our potential breakout point. And I don't think we will come and fill this out much more, because you can see, guys, we're coiled up about all we can coil up here before we're going to see a breakout. So I'm going to put it about approximately right here. That would give us a little more leadway, possibly a little bit more sideways movement here before we're actually breaking out. And that's going to get us up here. Looks like to retest some previous resistance very nicely. That's going to be at about 175, approximately 175, guys, $1.75 for the bullish target here. Approximately $1.75. And if you take it over here and you look, we do have previous resistance right here, and that actually lines you up perfectly here with that. You can see this previous resistance back here, these candle closes on the 4-hour chart. You can see that that actually lines you up perfectly with this target, so that would be a good retest of this previous resistance for Nucypher at $1.75 approximately. Keep in mind, guys, disclaimer down below, as always, none of this is financial or investment advice. You got to invest at your own risk and do your own research. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into Fantom or FTM token. And we're going to see what's going on here to do a quick recap on Fantom from my previous videos, guys. If you did watch those videos, you know that we had some targets in here for Fantom. Some upside targets up here around $3.16 to $3.30. Guys, we actually came up and broke above this slightly, just a little bit, but we did come crashing down slightly, very briefly here, guys, to about $2.50. So $3.30 was a good target. $3.15 to $3.30 was a good target in my opinion, because we did retrace and see a nice pullback after reaching that target. We came all the way down to $2.50 after reaching about $3.48. So currently, it does look like to me on the 4-hour chart, we're trying to put in somewhat of a bearish top here. Now, how significant this is yet to be known, but it does look pretty bearish. When you see this happen, you got kind of a double top action happening where you come up and meet your resistance two times in a row here. You get this little M pattern going, guys. This is typically bearish. This is typically a sign that you're going to come on back down a little bit more, possibly to test this moving average, or possibly to come down and test previous resistance. So let's go ahead and see what we're looking at here as far as the bearish case scenario goes for for Fantom. Excuse me. Lots of coins this morning, guys. Excuse me though. Fantom FTM token. Let's go ahead and put a line in there at our previous resistance, because in my opinion, this is could likely be support, and you can see that that's actually close. That lines you up very closely with where we wicked down to here on this pullback, this current pullback. So very close to $2.50 there, about $2.45 approximately. This would be support to pay attention to if we do continue on back down. As we are noticing, this is starting to fall below our target there at $3.16. and it does look like it's starting to form a double top on the 4-hour chart. So we could absolutely see this come on down some more if we break our support, our current support, which is right here at about $3.10, approximately $3.10. That is pretty much our current support. If that breaks, guys, I would expect us to come on down a decent amount, really. Just to put this into perspective, this would be the measured move, a potential measured move of a breakdown out of that support. And that gets you down here, right here near $2.45. It's actually right there at about $2.50. Okay, so that is right there at this previous support where you wick down to. So that would make sense. It would fill out this little double top M pattern here. Now, we can still check out and then drop it to the shorter term time frames and see what we can figure out for the possible bullish case scenario, so stick around. So guys, when we drop it down to the 15-minute chart, you can see that we're able to put in a rising broadening wedge here, or channel. Does look like we are forming here. We got resistance up here, we got touches on our resistance line, and we have enough touches down here on our support to confirm these trend lines. So what I would look at here, guys, is a retest of this resistance for the upside. That's how I would formulate an upside target here for Fantom. I do believe that if we get a nice bounce here, even if we were to come down here to about 287, approximately 287, 288 here, and retest this support, guys, we could come down and retest this support here before bouncing, and then we could bounce on up here, and we would expect resistance, in my opinion, up here near $4.30. So we'll go ahead and put a target up here around $4.30, because this would be our resistance to look at. So around 425 to 430 up here would be a nice retest of this trend line of resistance. So that makes sense to me, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this for Fantom and for Nucypher and for Jasmy. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining the community here on YouTube. You won't regret it, I promise. What are you waiting for? Smash that like button for us on the way out if you haven't yet. And I will see you guys in the next one.